Georgia is absolutely the best team in the country. That's not me saying that. That's college football expert and Alabama head coach Nick Saban talking to reporters on Sunday night as Georgia and Alabama get ready for um, really a colossal matchup. I don't really know other way to put it. Every time these two teams play, it's a big deal. When Kirby and Nick have gotten together, it's gotten to be an even bigger deal. This is a huge matchup. There are obviously playoff ramifications and so forth. Uh, it's a huge game. I mean, the SEC championship has always been a big deal, and it seems to have ratcheted up more lately. Georgia and Bama for the I think it's only the fourth time 2012, 2007, 2012, 2018, and then of course 2021. Georgia has not beaten Alabama yet in this game. So there's a lot, you know, there's a lot on the line here for both teams. Georgia's, trying to get another SEC championship. Obviously, Alabama's trying to extend their record on that front. But if Georgia plays the way that they should, they'll win this game. Here's what Nick also had to say. I think their defense has really good players, a good system. They do a good job of executing. Offensively, they run the ball effectively and have great play action passing game. They do a great job of utilizing the players they have. I think, to me, that's going to be one thing to pay attention to for this Alabama team getting ready for Georgia. Uh, so yesterday, well, by the time you watch this, it might not be yesterday, but on Saturday, one of the sort of issues that Alabama had was stopping Auburn's run game. But I have to say, in that situation, Auburn does so much quarterback run that it's a real issue. Now Peyton Thorne had 15 for 57, but that's enough to be annoying. Let me tell you. So Auburn ran for 244 yards against Bama. That's a lot. I mean, that's a lot. Now Jalen Milroe went for 107 on the ground, so he gave Bama a bunch of trouble too. But he was 16 of 24, far better than Peyton Thorne was with his 15 of 16. Auburn's just so one-dimensional. Georgia's really the complete opposite of that, and that's going to be the challenge in this thing. Can in the sort of closer games that Alabama has played, there's not been a bunch of them. Obviously Texas was a game that they played. I'm doing some of this as I go here. But like for instance, against Texas A&M, they really limited Texas A&M in running the ball with only 67 yards, but Bama only had 23. Against Arkansas, a 3-point win at home, Alabama ran the ball effectively, and Arkansas only had 100 yards rushing. It's the Texas game that a lot of people are pointing to and at, but those two teams were pretty even in that game. It's just that Quinn Ewers threw all over Alabama. So you never really know what will matter in any particular game. And that's why it's so important for Georgia to continue to be balanced the way that they have been over the last, this season. This season has been, it's been an adventure. I think that's one way to put it. It's not the only way to put it, but it's been an adventure for Georgia. They've been the better team in all 12 games, and they've proven that out with the win. Alabama's not been the better team on that day twice, but they won one of those games, which was against Auburn on Saturday. Make sure you're checking out this offer I've got. This is exclusive to Dawg Post. I don't have a lot of these left. This is a great Christmas gift. It's a Stetson Bennett signed Double Dawgs. There's fewer than 20 left. I don't know how many by the time you're watching this. So the link for that is right down below. Make sure that you're checking that out. When I run out, I run out. There's not going to be any more of these left. So that's something to check out it's late November. I'd go ahead and get those orders in today if you want that. Because, again, once it runs out, that's it. But, this is a team, Georgia and Bama, when you look at them, just sort of where they are in the pantheon of college football right now, they are the two best programs. I think Michigan has something to say about that too, but they are the two best programs in college football. What Alabama is really good at is, Their total offense, they're a little under 50th nationally at 410 yards a game, 409 yards a game. They're, middle of the pack throwing it. They're a little bit higher rushing it. Their defense is number 17 in the country. Certainly not bad. But they're matching up against a Georgia team that's going to be a real challenge. I mean, there's no doubt that both of these teams are going to be real challenges for the other. I mean, period. I think, when you look at Georgia, statistically speaking, they're really good at a lot of stuff. Run defense is one of the few things, and pass and run offense, Georgia's not top 12 in those two categories. But every other major category, total offense, passing efficiency, scoring offense, passing yards allowed, scoring defense, stuff like that, they're all top 12, Georgia. So there's not a lot of teams like that out there. For instance, Alabama, when you take a look at them, total offense, 48th, 44th in rushing offense, 57th in passing, team passing efficiency, 6th, scoring offense, 17th. So they make it work when they score. Rushing defense, total defense, 17, rushing 33, passing yards allowed, 15. They're pretty good against the pass. And then, of course, scoring defense, they're only allowing 18 points a game. So, and they're very good against, as it relates to turnovers. I don't know what will happen this game. You never know. Turnovers will matter a lot. But Nick's right. Georgia is clearly the best team in the country. But we've come down to the point here where, you got to do it. Like, there's no, hey, they're the best team. I mean, that doesn't matter anymore. You got to go win this game, or all that you've worked for is irrelevant. Now, the one other thing that's sort of maybe not great coming into this thing, if you're Alabama, is they do have the tendency to get penalized. Not as bad as it was, I don't think, at the beginning of the season, but they do have a tendency to get penalized maybe more than they'd like. And so that's going to be another thing to watch. But, Nick, he also says, phenomenal what Kirby's been able to accomplish at Georgia. They recruit and develop their players. Yeah. I mean, listen, Nick's the greatest college football coach of all time. He just is. Kirby could go that way, but it's games like Saturday that are going to determine if people like me say that. And he always says, I'll leave that up to y'all to debate. Okay, I'll take the ball and run with it. Kirby's not the greatest of all time, but that is not out of the realm of possibility in the future. It would be kind of inexplicable / very difficult to do in your first 8 years somewhere. But Saturday matters a lot for legacy for both these guys. More for Kirby than Nick. Nick's got his legacy, and Kirby in a way does too. But you think about guys like Dylan Bell, Dejon Edwards. Let me look at the board. Brock Bowers was supposed to be good. He wasn't supposed to be an alien, as Matt DeBerry would put it. I would say Stackhouse, Zion Logue, obviously, Munden and Williams, they were 5-star guys. So they, the easy answer is Ladd McConkey, but it's not just Ladd. I mean, Ladd is exceptional. I mean, he's really good. Dylan Bell looks really, really, really good right now too. And I mean, he wasn't somebody that everybody was knocking on the door about. So Malachi Starks was a star. Kamari Lassiter was a big deal. But like Kirby and them make a habit. There's a habit that's formed at Georgia. There's a whatever you want to call it, where guys like Christopher Smith, or I just don't even know. They seemingly take guys and develop them. If you're a 4-star player, you may well play like a 5. If you're a 3-star, you may well play like a 5. And there's no telling when you're going to get that performance from a former 5-star guy. And don't hold me to all these, but like someone like Kendall Milton. So like Kendall Milton is exploding right now. That's really problematic. Alabama has guys like this too. So what Nick's done with Jalen Milroe, this season alone, I mean, that's the real deal. He's gotten it done. They have become a great team over there. What we're gonna see Saturday is who's the better team that day. Like, and that's all that matters. It doesn't matter who was the better team in September when both these teams were not playing exactly the way they wanted. Clearly, Alabama was not. It doesn't matter what happened this past weekend in the Iron Bowl or Clean Old Fashioned 8. Those games are done. But this is the game that matters. From here on out, if you win, the games will only matter more. And there's not going to be many games that people will think about more than Georgia, Alabama. I mean, it is the Ohio State, Michigan of the South. Well, that really is the Iron Bowl, frankly. But this game attracts more attention than the Iron Bowl because of the stakes. It's not a yearly thing. And I was talking to one of my wife's coworkers who doesn't really, know a lot and knows enough about sports to be dangerous. And she said, well, is the Tech game, is that bigger than Alabama? And I was like, well, they're very different games. So the answer is no, not necessarily. But, this game, Georgia and Alabama, has captured the attention of the country for a long time now, for probably since 2012. And, Alabama has come out on top in all of those games but one. And the one game that they didn't cost them a national championship. One of the games that they did won them a national championship. So that's what the stakes are here. It's odd that they're in the same conference. You hardly ever see, two teams in the same conference playing for the national championship against one another. But this is modern day Nebraska, Oklahoma. This is, I don't know, Miami, Florida State from back in the day. The stakes are as large as they can be. But when Nick says Georgia is obviously the best team in the country, he's exactly right. Thanks for watching.